hockey. Two bald guys and they're talking about 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 hockey. And they're bald. And there's hockey. Hockey.
I don't care. That never gets old. Never gets old.
I know.
Okay. So, hey, we are almost through UFA.
Yes, and right now it's just a few players here and there, and it's nothing major.
It's been a time.
So
I don't want to do it again. That's for sure. Doing like I'd rather be, participating and not,
yeah,
the watching everybody's moves and all that shit. But it's been good. It's been good.
I think it's gone pretty smoothly.
This year was way better than when I did it like years back. Like way easier, less bullshit. I did have one GM pissed off with me because I canceled one of his bids, and then he apologized to me for being upset. So, there's that.
Okay.
But
until he realized that he made the mistake.
Well, ultimately, it's their mistake, right? Like it's not me. I'm just the dick who's got to tell them, hey, you screwed up, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
But there was nobody won over at any point, which San Jose pushed the limit on that multiple times. I know a couple other teams were close to going over the salary cap, but you're allowed to go $3 million. But I mean, San Jose was at one point, I think it was like 2.8 million over the cap, like just a hair under what's allowed. So,
yeah,
I mean, the problem with that is I got to sit and tally shit up.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other problem was Boston made a trade to acquire more cash and didn't let me know, and then signed a player. And I'm like, dude, you don't have the cash. He's like, oh yeah, I made a trade. Well, remember the whole part about you're supposed to let me know? Like,
and he was the guy last year that created the issue.
So, but I'm like, this is why you need to have a no trade thing. This is why you need to have a no trade, because you're not going to let me know. You're not going to let whoever's running it know. And notice in the fog, start working on finding somebody for next year, because I'm out. I'm tapping out. So there you go. But that being said, there were some signings.
Yes, there was a lot of signings.
Yours was the first one to go through.
Yes, I like that.
Here they are. Victor Hedman. Jean, you have a minute to comment. Ready? Go.
Well, to me, he was the top defenseman on the board, obviously. And he was under 35, so I could sign him for more than 2 years. So I think he was also the best player overall on the board. So I went all in right away with a $28 million bid. There's two things that happened. Is one, I wanted to add a top player to my team, even though I know I don't have a shot at making the playoffs this year because I'm still rebuilding, but I'm adding assets.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to reach the floor. So the $15 million on Victor Hedman is helping me reach the floor. So the goal is that when my team starts to get really good, better and good in 2 years from now, Edmund is still going to be on my team. Is going to be my top defenseman.
Hopefully, still. Like yeah. I don't see. Like I'm not trying to like shit on this, but I mean, hopefully, I mean, guys leave the league or whatever, but he is a top defenseman.
Yeah, and he's going to be
definitely 38. One of the top 3 in the league.
Yeah, he's going to be 38 at the end of his contract.
Well, that's not too bad.
So, uh, I thought that was I needed to make a splash, not a splash, just I needed to add better assets to my team.
Well,
So
I would say you did make a splash. I don't think anyone saw you going in and getting Victor Hedman. I
it was
know at least one GM was actively complaining about non-playoff teams being able to go out there and get high-end talent, and I say pause for that. I say let's go. Let's have all the top players. Like let's
so
let these bottom end teams have better players.
my answer to that is, what are we going to continue to have the haves and the have-nots, and we're just going to restrict the teams from that are not doing well, that are rebuilding, that are trying to build their team up, to we're going to tell them, okay, you know what, you can't have those guys, or you can't trade the player right away. The one thing I don't agree with, and I don't think anybody's doing that, is you tell me, Jean, can you bid on Victor Edmond for me, and we'll make a trade after. I don't agree in that. I think that would be wrong. But if I acquire Edmond, and then in December somebody comes and sees me and says, you know what, I've got a shot, I'd like to Edmond, and they offer me a really good deal that keeps making my team better, well, what's wrong with that, right? So
I
that's
agree with.
my
I think this league is strong if we have 32 teams fighting for the 16 playoffs.
yeah, I
Like
agree.
I I want to
But
see, and I have a 50-50 chance of not making it. Bring it on. That's when the
mhm,
league is best.
yeah,
I don't like, and it's within the rules because Bob has already apparently agreed to trade. Who was it that he had picked up? Had traded
Kopitar,
Kopitar.
Kopitar.
Yeah,
See,
he's already worked on a trade, and from what I know which GM it is, and I'm not going to say it here, but I don't like that.
no,
I
wait
don't like
until the
that.
regular season starts. Like,
Well,
don't.
it's in the rules that he can do it, and but I don't like that rule, and
Yeah,
I would like the bog to sort of review maybe a way to just no unrestricted free agent that signed in the NHL this summer is going to be traded day one of the NHL season.
I agree
None
with
of
that.
And realism is one of the aspects I like about this game.
Hmm.
And that's not real. And this
But
is in no way a criticism of Bob for doing it because it's within the rules and he's doing everything within the rules to make his team better. And I tip my cap to that.
I also think that we need to be able to trade those guys. Like, we need to be able to make trades to acquire assets. Like, this league is not like any other league or pools that I'm in. Like, if you're rebuilding like I am right now, and like Tampa Bay did, Toronto, Detroit. Detroit is starting to have a really good team now. Montreal did, and Montreal did it a lot quicker than the rest of us. But it takes time, because if you're building through the draft, the guys that you're drafting this year, unless you got Macklin Celebrini, you're not gonna they're not gonna be on your team for 2, 3, 4 years. So to me, like, what else are you supposed to do? Right?
No, this is the thing, right? I don't I don't hate what's the line? I don't hate the player, I hate the game or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I don't
Yeah.
I think what Bob did is what Bob should do. But
Hmm.
I think but part of the problem right now is so many of the rules are tilted in favor of the haves and not so much the have nots.
That is exactly what it
And
is.
if Bob comes back and says, "Okay, they can't do this." Then, okay, but you're also taking one less bullet out of the chamber of the have-nots. Because
And it's really tough to get out of the basement.
and you can see that it doesn't happen. Montreal is the first notable team to go from like the bottom to
And Vancouver.
competitive. Well, but Vancouver wasn't the bottom, right?
Yeah. He,
Like I feel like Montreal made a bigger journey up, and it's not to discredit
no,
Vancouver,
no.
but
Vancouver was rebuilding also. And
okay,
because those are the two teams that I look at to see, okay, how am I like, I don't want to be a rebuilding for the next 5, 6 years. When do I start? What do I need to do? So I look at those teams and I look, when did they start to rebuild, and how did they do it? You know,
yeah.
so
Well, I guess
so that was yeah,
that was our
that was Edmund.
Edmund. Yeah. Well, and Marchand, Brad Marchand went to New Jersey, which a little surprised that he like I would have thought he would have went for more. I guess at the end of the day, 8.5.
Yeah, but um he like New Jersey obviously is a top team, and he's only added one player in free agency, and that was Marchand. So he went all in on Marchand to add to his team. So I think that was a good signing for Mark.
Yeah. The other big one of the make us advantage. Ottawa was in on that for a while, and then it just got like I don't know, 5 years at 12.5 million. That's
That's a lot.
a bit. Yeah,
That
that's a bit.
that is a big contract on a declining player. I know he's a declining player because I have him in my other league.
So
So
I, but the Rangers.
maybe he just had a bad year last year, and it was the coach because the team wasn't doing that great. The Rangers, so now they've changed coaches. So let's hope that Zibanejad starts to pick it up again, because he was doing better at the end of the season than he was at the start of the season. So. Then the other guy, Crosby, that was the forward I was considering going after if I didn't
Yeah,
get to Edmund. So
and 2 years, 17.5. Like this gonna make sense, right? Like he should be, and it's only 2 years, which is great.
yeah, that's what I was looking at. Is you got 2 years, but like to me, if I acquired Crosby, I would have done the same thing that Bob did with Edmonton and Kopitar.
Well,
I would have
and
put him on the market right away.
Boston, who signed him, has done an interesting job.
Nathan
That's what I'll
always
say.
does an interesting job.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call up this lineup here. He's got like 5 players. Yeah. Okay, 4 players of high level, and then a whole bunch of like low end guys. And
I didn't realize that.
he's
Wow.
got Sidney Crosby, Roman Yossi, John Carlson, and Brock Nelson, all rated 86 and above. And then
Wow.
everybody else is rated in the low 80s and mid 70s. Like it's going to be an interesting study this year as to how this team works with that.
I did not expect that. I thought that his team was a lot deeper than it is.
And I'll say this: Sidney Crosby was on Montreal, or sorry, Los Angeles, for 2 years and didn't make the playoffs. and he had all-star level players around him. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Sidney Crosby playing with.
The sim loves Sidney Crosby.
Does it?
Well,
Well, he's never been injured in the sim, which what? Like he's last year 24, 30, yeah, 33
18
goals.
points
That's
in the
not too bad.
playoffs. 31 with
No,
and
only 24 goals last year.
yeah. He didn't play well in LA. No.
On an all-star team. And I just wonder if what he's going to do.
I
But
don't know.
I'm not saying I know. It'll be an interesting study to see how, like, his top wingers will be Brock Nelson and maybe Brett Howden. I don't know. I'm just guessing. And that'll be a
So,
real drop from the last couple of years.
well, as we know, Nathan will figure it out because he always
Well, he
does.
will. And will Sidney Crosby will be on his team in a month, 2 months, a month into the season.
I don't think he will be there by Christmas.
You think he'll be traded?
By Christmas. I think by Christmas, he's gonna be like, okay, I need more depth on my team. At the latest.
It'll be an interesting study. And I don't mean that in any way sarcastically. I mean literally.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be fun to watch.
Exactly. Okay, I signed Mikhail. I'm not gonna go through every one of these. I think just maybe the big ones at the beginning. Mikhail Granlund, I re-signed. He's never not been on my team. I would have preferred a better top line center, but all I
Sidney
can get,
Crosby might be available if you've got depth.
I got depth, but I ain't oh, I am a man. I'd like a tea, please.
Mm.
My wife is being a smartass on live TV in front of all the other guys in the league.
Well,
And
that
she says
that I
hi to
can
me.
appreciate.
Oh, and I thought of you today. I took some raspberry jam out of the freezer. Um, okay. Bobrovsky going for 10.8 2 years. Is that undervalued? Like, that's a real good contract, I think, for Philly.
Yeah, I think it was a really good contract. But I think it's right on. It could have been worse. But I think it's right on the value where that it needs to be. And I think that's been one of the things that I know that he's always end up getting good stats out of his goalie. I think it's more out of because he has a good team in front of his goalies, then his goalies have been awesome. So I think
He likes
Bobrovsky,
defensemen with high DF.
yeah, when you have your defensemen are Adam Larson, Darnell Nurse, Sergachev, Cam York, Jake Sanderson, Luke Hughes.
As his third pair.
Yeah. Like that's your defense, I think and his team is, pretty solid at the front also. So now that he's added Bobrovsky and his backup is Stolars and he's got Gustafsson.
Well, he's going to try to move stuff. Like, I know I've talked to Stolars, like, not so much in trade, in interest. And I think he's asking for a lot for someone. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. High rated goalie, low salary, but he's only got the 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see what he gets or what I have to give up. Okay. I don't know who else was really big. Roman Yossi, I guess, went to Boston.
Yeah.
Toronto jumps in with Tyler Seguin on a 2-year deal.
That one is interesting. I think that's again to do the same thing that Edmonton did with Kopitar.
Well, because 2 years doesn't seem like this one I don't like as much because I don't think it makes as much sense with it being 2 years. And you're going to have a hard time moving a $15 million contract, even
Yeah.
with retention.
But at retention, he's going to be at 7.8, 7.75,
7.65.
65.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
For 2 years. That's full retention.
yeah, full retention.
And I'm sure Flax will call him for that one.
Yeah, because Flax wants everybody to retain.
Well,
And
Flax wants a $200 million salary cap that he gets half the league to retain the other half.
yes, and Justin is the same. Every time he makes a trade, he wants somebody to retain on it. So I guess that's how you get good players for cheap.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I think part of the problem is the league doesn't charge people more to do those retention deals. I think you should. I think you should be raising the value you're taking if I'm gonna retain it on a contract, we're upping the price you're paying. And I don't think enough GMs do that enough.
No, you're right. Also, Mark signed Jordan Biddington for $14.695 million for 4 years.
Find that one. There it is.
And Chris Letang. So Mark was the big player to me in free agency.
The Binnington signing makes more sense. To me, the Binnington makes more sense for Toronto than the Seguin deal. You're getting a much better goalie. You're 4 years. Maybe your team's competing in 4 years, and you've got a star goalie. And I think his team will be better in 3, 4 years. I think
he's ahead of me by at least 1 year in his with his team because he's got guys that like Fantilli that are on his team now.
Yeah.
You got Fantilli, Coronado, Clark, Pospisil, Karagoche. So he's got some decent guys that are already rated, and they're going to be contributing for him. So I think in a year or two he's going to be competing for a playoff spot.
I think so. Maybe not this year, but
maybe those guys he didn't acquire them to trade them away. Maybe he acquired them to compete because now he's got Letang and Brady Shea as his number one D pair.
I will say in the Atlantic, there's no easy outs anymore.
No.
There's no teams where you're just going to walk in and dominate.
No.
So the laughing at the Atlantic
is coming to an end.
Is coming to an end.
Montreal, Tampa Bay, Detroit, and Boston that are competing for, and Buffalo. How can I forget Buffalo? So 6 of the 8 teams to me are competing for a playoff spot this year. Toronto and Florida are the 2 teams that, and even if I'm looking at Toronto now, it's not bad. It's pretty decent.
No, after free agency, they may have surpassed your team. So you might be looking at a higher first round pick, which you're probably happy about.
Yes. as I said, I'm still a couple of years away from being able to compete.
One McKenna away.
That would be nice. That's what I need.
Here's an interesting thing. Ricard Raquel goes to Minnesota for 2 years, 7.1 million. Mason Marchment goes to Pittsburgh, 4 years, 7.8 million. Would you rather have Mason Marchment for 4 years or Ricard Raquel for 2?
Um,
Are you a fan of Mason Marchment?
Marchman is 2 years younger than Raquel. Hmm. I think for Minnesota, Minnesota is a team that is competing now, and Pittsburgh is in a rebuilding stage, right?
Yeah.
So I think those two contracts help both teams.
Well, it's just interesting that Marchment went for more than Raquel.
Yeah.
I will say the downside of Raquel is in Pittsburgh in the NHL. Like I just see it as declining value over the next 2 years.
Oh yeah, Raquel is not again by Christmas. Raquel is not on Pittsburgh in the NHL team.
Oh, you think so?
I think he's gone. Him and Brian Rust are gone for sure. It's there's no way they're
Sydney
staying.
cannot be happy about this. Like
So
Gino and
I'm
Sydney cannot be happy.
I'm going to be part of the conspiracy. Pittsburgh was in trouble back in 1983. Financially, they were close to bankruptcy.
You're like me. Welcome to the island.
Okay.
I've been
Somehow
saying this for years.
they end up with the first pick overall, get Mario Lemieux.
When otherwise they would have been dead.
Yep. In 2004,
Same thing.
they were about to go bankrupt. They could not afford to pay Mario Lemieux's the end of his contract, so they gave him the team. Okay. Now, the Fenway Group is saying, you know what? This is not working out for us. So Pittsburgh is in trouble. They're rebuilding. They've traded a lot of their players away. And I'm telling you, Carlson, Rust, and Raquel gone by Christmas, and um, uh, Malkin and Crosby are not going to be far behind, and somehow Pittsburgh's going to end up with the first pick overall, and they're going to end up with Gavin McKenna. Watch it.
Absolutely. I've been saying this to you for probably 6 months now.
Yeah.
But you watch. I thought it was bad when Connor Bedard went to Chicago. At the perfect moment for Chicago to win it.
I know.
Right?
And the worst.
And here we are. We're going to be the same thing with Pittsburgh and Gavin McKenna. And probably the next great talent, Gavin McKenna. So we'll see.
High scoring talent.
Still doing a show.
So, but Pittsburgh did well also, I think. The DCHL Pittsburgh. I think he did well to add to his team.
He didn't go crazy.
Didn't go crazy, but he added Evander Kane, Mason Marchment, and who's the other guy?
Oh, Gostisbehere.
Gostisbehere. So he added some depth to his team. So I think he's got a shot at making the playoffs. But
that division's so tight, and
yeah,
it's tight, and you've got Philly and Carolina's a lot better this year with Nathan.
Carolina's really
Nathan
good.
McKinnon, and Like Carolina might be the team to beat in that division this year.
Yeah. New
And
Jersey.
New Jersey is still New Jersey. And the Islanders are still the Islanders.
So you got 4 teams right away,
And the
right off the
Rangers
bat.
had a really good free agency. They're a lot better. Columbus is
So
still Columbus. I think Columbus might be coming down a notch this year. But I don't know, man. That division is tighter. The whole East is
so
going to be tighter. Stay tuned for our divisional shows.
the Rangers, to me, I'm looking at the Rangers team now. They're better than the Bruins.
100%. 100%.
The Rangers are better than the Bruins.
I think in our division, because I was looking at this the other day. In the Atlantic Division, Boston is behind Detroit, Tampa Bay, Ottawa, Buffalo, and like they are at best sixth in the division.
I agree.
As it is right now, they're at best sixth.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, who knows how the sims, but they, having Sidney Crosby won't be enough, I don't think, to get you there. Because that's what LA found out. Well, and even the Islanders had him last year in the playoffs.
Yeah,
And
and I
they
picked the
were,
Islanders to make it far. They didn't.
oh, I don't
Um,
know. Anyone else you want
what I found interesting, I don't know if I didn't notice it more last year, like previous year than this year. I found there was a lot of younger players that were signed this year. Guys 22, 23, 25 that
I
had been
think,
released. Like Ian Moore, one of
well,
the guys I was looking.
yeah, he was released months ago in the season.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh released him,
Yep,
and he was signed to a 1-year contract.
yep.
Um,
Well, he was drafted and then undrafted.
yeah,
No,
and
and that's going to be a guy that, like, he'll be a good sixth or seventh defenseman.
so there was a lot of guys that were like that this year that I found were early to mid-20s that ended up signing.
Well, I've also got the ages here. A lot of guys didn't get signed in RFA. That should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Colson didn't get signed.
Yeah,
And that's just do your work, guys. Like get your signees in. There was somebody else that St. Louis didn't send in. Uh, who was it? Oh, Caden Korzak.
yeah.
Like
So
you gotta get your stuff in, guys. You gotta get your stuff in because I mean, good on Washington, although they spent a shit ton to get him. Good on
yeah,
them. I
so
don't know if he'll be re-signing them after. Like that's going to be crazy RFA
but
contract.
there was 10 guys that were signed under 25. That's quite a bit, you know.
Jan Mishak was released. I remember him being released because I had
Yeah,
considered drafting him
yeah.
at some point.
Signed a 1-year con there by Nashville.
Yeah. Well, and there's somebody else like it's under 24, whatever, 25 that still hasn't been put up that I'm thinking about putting up, but I'll put up probably when the season starts. So I don't have to release another player. Because right now I have to release like 8 players or something.
I just released 3, and I got to release one more
Yeah.
because I wasn't planning to sign Chris Chepov.
Well, I got nicked on I shouldn't have bid on a guy, and it was the goalie I bid on Uh, Jones, where is he? Martin Jones, 1 million. I was the only bid.
And you didn't expect to get him, eh?
Well, I mean, he's rated higher than my current backup,
Mm-hmm.
which is Dan Vladar, which and 1 million, he's $1 million cheaper than Dan Vladar. So I guess if
Yeah.
I can trade Vladar, although Vladar's the starter, like he's likely going to be the starter in Philadelphia this year. I assume his rating will go up from that.
So,
I don't know.
um, and I think I need to address the elephant in the room because I shocked a few people when I bid $7 million on Eric Comrie.
Oh, you want to discuss that?
Just quickly, I needed to reach the floor. So because I needed to reach the floor, and I made a mistake in my calculation, so I bid $7 million on Eric Comrie because I didn't want to have to spend any any money, like any bonus money or anything like that. I wanted to keep some more cash after I spent $28 million in bonus money on Victor Edmond. So that's why I did that. But I had forgotten that I had retained 6 million on a trade earlier. So
Oh, so
that's
you
why I made the
didn't have that
trade.
into your calculations.
I didn't have it in my calculation. So that's the reason why I had put the bid on Eric Comrie of
Yeah,
28
and
million.
he's not going to be. I will say this about Eric Comrie: his rating should be higher than what it is. Like he was an NHL backup goalie last year that played solid when he played,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and he is rated like middle AHL level goalie for this season,
Yeah.
and that's just not right.
And I didn't want to spend, like, I didn't want to bid on a guy that I didn't know, like, I wasn't planning to keep. Once I didn't get Jacob Markstrom, I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go and get a cheap goalie. Well, no, a lower ended goalie that I can give a 1 year contract to, and then move on from him next year.
Well, Markstrom going for 2 years, 12 million.
Yeah,
Who wasn't paid that? Columbus. I guess
Columbus.
Columbus needed a goalie, and they had lots of things, so
Yeah.
it made sense for Columbus to pay that. But when who was the goalie that went way cheaper? Uh,
Uh,
here. Okay, Binnington went for what I think Binnington should have went for.
yeah,
Darcy Kemp,
Bennington.
Darcy Kemper went for 5 million, 2 years, 5 million. Higher rated, but half the price.
Yeah. So it's been interesting free agency, but I don't think it's been very. There's a lot of signings, but I was going to say very busy, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I wasn't involved a lot this year as much as I was in the past.
Well, there was less to it for sure, like than years ago. Like there were less problems. I would say there's probably fewer bids even.
That's what I'm thinking. Is there's like last year, I remember there was, and previous year, there's always tons of bids.
Well, and I will say this: I think a lot of people were smarter about the term of the contract they were signing. The money was still high, but people were signing for 4 years and 3 years
Hmm.
and 2 years, and less of the 6 years to a guy like Brendan Gallagher went for a 6 year deal at 4 million a year, I think it was.
2 million.
That
It was
it's
2.2.
Brendan Gallagher 2.2 million.
2.261.
Oh, is that the AAV?
The AAV.
Okay. Um, I mean,
6
6
years.
years though, like, eh,
Well,
that's a lot.
Gallagher
A
will
lot.
not be in the DCHL in 6 years.
Only, I don't think like I don't know if he's in the NHL in 2 years.
So, yeah, I think it. Well, I don't think he's going to be in Montreal. His contract ends in 2 years. Got 2 more years on his contract with Montreal. I don't
That's
think
right.
they're re-signing him.
Yeah, they spent 3 million in DCHL cash, point whatever million for a guy
So,
that for a 6 year deal on a guy that I just don't. Yeah, I don't see him in the NHL for 6 years.
yeah. So, yeah, I think that this year there was a lot more restraint on the on the deals.
Yeah, I would say better deals all around. Like very few absolute horseshit contracts.
Hmm.
Like Yanni Gord last year, and the one I thought this year wasn't good was Matheson, Mike Matheson.
Yeah, that one was high. I can't
Two
remember who
years at
signed him.
2 years at 9 million, something like that.
9.6.
Yeah, like is
Was
that
it
double what he makes
Anaheim?
in the NHL?
No, who signed him?
I don't remember. Dallas. 2 years at 9.6 with a max signing bonus.
Yeah,
Like that's
I
just
thought that was high. But one contract that we didn't talk about yet that I know it's 6 years, but Mark Stone at 8.64, I uh, I think that's a good deal. 8.64 for Mark Stone.
yeah.
I think that's a contract that will age well.
You think so?
Yeah,
6 years?
yeah, I think so. I
I
liked it.
well, on 25 million in cash to go
Yeah.
with that. So,
So
but
again, I'm looking at the how the salary cap is going to go up, and I think Mark Stone he's never been a fast guy, so that he slows down. He was slow to start off with. That's not his game. His game is intensity and great hockey sense. So
yep. What is he like? One of the top four checkers in the league? Like, go get the puck
oh
out of the corner.
oh yeah, to and steals. I think he leads the league in steals all the time.
So,
So
okay. And I, I guess, sort of in closing of this conversation, I posted the a question to the league. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, share screen. How do you feel about your team in this moment? What did you pick?
I pick I'm right where I need to be for now because I'm rebuilding. So it's not where I want to be, it's where I need to be right now. So
I did a little tinkering here or there. I like my team in general. I don't know that I'm a playoff team. Like I think I'm on the bubble for that, but I generally like it. And if I can get a starting goalie that's better than Freddie Anderson, yay. If not, I'll probably ride it. And this is a good year to have a top 10 draft pick.
mhm.
So if I'm gonna suck, I'm perfectly willing to go into the draft with a top 10 draft pick.
Yeah.
It's
So
interesting
yeah,
that we got a lot of replies.
yeah, I'm happy that there was a lot of replies too. So yeah, to me it's I still need
29
to
votes.
like I could have put a little tinkering, but to me it's like I have a lot of tinkering to do. But I am I'm right where I need to be for now.
Yep. And it was. I'm glad that was actually the most popular response, meaning that most people are generally happy with where their franchise is at this time.
Yeah.
So,
Like you might have somebody like me that's rebuilding and I'm happy with my rebuild. And then you might have somebody like Flax that is happy with his team, how it's that he thinks he's going to competing for the cup.
yeah. Oh, cool.
So
Is there anything else you want to discuss?
no, I'm good. We've been just over an hour now, so
yeah, we've been keeping them kind of short lately, which I think is
yeah,
a good thing.
yeah. When we go an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes, that's too long.
And I don't know if I've told you this, Sean, but I will be unavailable next week because I will be
Yes,
in Ireland.
yes, I heard about that.
So
Oh, I just I just saw uh some of the bids on Travis Hamonic.
I know, I know.
Obviously, none of those guys that have been bidding have been watching the Ottawa Senators for the last 4 years.
But just on this, I'm following on Facebook like a Red Wings site, and someone's like, "Welcome Travis Hamonic to the Detroit Red Wings." It's Hamonic that went to the Red Wings, right? Am
Yep,
I right?
yep.
Yeah. And I posted a comment like because someone posted he'll bring some toughness to our organization, and I commented on that saying he'll be the toughest guy in your press box.
It's
And the guy did. He was like, I doubt that highly, and I'm like, dude, he'll either be injured or he'll be sitting. Like, but he'll be in your
he
press box.
and he is so bad that he made Jake Sanderson look bad at the start of the season when Jake Sanderson played a month and a half with him. It's like so I just thought that it was funny that we're at 3.75 million on Travis Hamonic. They
I know.
honestly haven't watched the Ottawa Senators play the last 4 years.
He, some of these, it's funny because when you get to this point, people have lots of cash and they need one player, and there's one guy that fits one role. Like if you need a fourth line checking center,
Yeah,
and there's one guy that has a good face off and a good BF and a good checking. So you're going to give this guy way more than like he makes 800,000 in the NHL, but you're going to give him 4 million. And there's Hamonic is
yeah.
a perfect example of that. That he just
I
signed in
just
Detroit for 1 million, right?
yeah, 1 year, 1 million.
And he's going to get more than he should here, but that's fine.
So
So who's got the lead bid on him?
Max, St. Louis.
There you go. All right.
So
Good luck, Max. I hope you get him.
so do I. Too
The
bad
show's
you're not
playing
in
St.
the
Louis.
Atlantic.
You know, Max has lots of cap space, so he probably doesn't care. So
Yeah. So
okay, well, I guess we'll sign off and we'll see everybody back in a weeks.
couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll see because I'm not sure what state I'll be back.
Oh yeah, it's true. So 3 weeks because you're gone.
Maybe, and that's fantasy football draft weekend too when we get back. So
Yeah.
I don't even, like I'm going to struggle to get in the fantasy draft on the Monday. Oh well,
When are you
felony,
back? On the Sunday?
we're back on the Saturday, I think, and we'll see what kind of shape I'm in. The draft's on the Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday noon 1.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm signing off with the old thumbs up here, and we are